Good morning to you all. I thought this would be an excellent day to pop down into the greenhouse, which I'm now standing, and show how the progress of the plants are coming on. I obviously have had a little bit of a tidy up here, got rid of a few corpses. You always get some that die over winter, or some which bought as imported plants never pulled through. This is the name of the game. Anyhow, once again, it's nice to be able to show plants to the plant lovers as well. A lot of my bulb friends also keep plants, and I think everyone will be interested. Anyhow, I hope so. And just start by going at one end and then through and back again. Here we start at the propagator. I must show the electrics, because one of my friends definitely likes to see all the electrical stuff. Excuse that old tube fitting down there, that's came out of the shed. The shed's going to be pulled down. Anyhow, in this one, this is virtually a hot box, and see you've got a thermostat there. By turning that, you've got a little indicator as well, which comes alight when the thermostat is off. Sounds a bit Irish, but there we are. There's some of the plants in there. They're slowly waking up. As I say, the temperature in here is kept a little bit above freezing, so you know it's not. They're not really mollycoddled, but these ones obviously are, because they're in a propagator. They're not doing too bad. You've got a Pachypodium namaquanum there, that's a grafted one. And moving along, we get to another propagator with these two little lights there which come on and off depending on whether it's cold or warm. Today, as I say, I won't say it feels like a summer's day, but it's very good weather for this time of year. We've got another namaquanum there. That's got through very well, I thought. As I say, some of these caudiciform plants, you can pay a lot of money for them. And the added bonus is obviously when they start to make growth. You say to yourself, they're alive. Because it's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble when you buy these. There's a few more in there. They've been tidied up and cleaned up a bit. That's removing the old dead leaves and dead stems. You'll notice what I use as a cactus food. This is Chempact cactus and succulent fertiliser. You only use a very small amount. The instructions are on there, I won't go into it, but I can recommend that. Now, moving further along, this area has a heated mat. And depending on what the temperature is, whether that warms up or not. But these are quite tough plants that are on the back here. The Opuntias or Tephrocarpus. There's one there. That's Tephrocarpus papyracantha. Paper spines, that means. We've got another one here which looks like the more commoner type of Opuntia. The type where you notice when I was a kid, shops or plant shops used to sell these Opuntias, not this particular species, but similar species, as like 3 pads, this has got 3 pads. This is quite a nice plant actually. It's Opuntia aciculata, which means like needles spines, referring to the spines. It's densely spined up. Not a very nice item to fall against or have to repot. Great care is required. As with all the Opuntias, there's another one here, that's a Tephra. You've got some small ones in the front, the Phophora williamsi. These are subjected, unfortunately, to red spider damage, and I'm afraid I'm no exception. They do get attacked. It's a great pity because they make lovely plants. They do eventually grow out of their damage, but it might take several years. I rather like the Phophoras, not for their hallucination properties, no way. I understand the Indians in America use them in ceremonies, and they get high on the dried bodies of the plants. Great pity, I'd much rather them be in my collection, but we can't have everything. A few more of the Opuntias, Tephra. Coming further down, you've got a few more plants. You've got a nice Ariocarpus agavioides here. This is a slow grower. It flowered last year. Hopefully it might oblige this year. Strobiliocactus strombiformis, which translated means like a fir cone. If you look at it, it does look a bit like a fir cone. That flowered as well. You've got a rather poorly Luckenbergia principus. There's that one there. On the back you've got more Tephra. Some of these have got specific names now. There is a very, very good book out on the dwarf Opuntias, and all the new names are listed in that book. I'd certainly recommend that. It can be bought through a good bookshop or the Cactus Society, British Cactus and Succulent Society, which obviously deals with cacti and succulents. And if we're talking about mesems, it's a mesem study group. I always try and give those two organisations a plug. Here we have another nice Lophophora. I got that last year at one of the Cactus Bring and Buys. You get a chance to go to one of those, they're worth it. Okay, you need a fat wallet to go, but they are good. You meet old friends and new friends there, and it really is good. Moving along, we got Ubomania pectinifera. Ubomania is obviously named after Mr. Uberman, and pecten means a comb. Yes, the comb that you would comb your hair with, and it refers to the way the spines show themselves. I can remember when they first discovered this plant. I was much younger than I am now, but I do remember it. Coming along, a few more Opuntias. Opuntias on the whole will take temperatures fairly low. As a lot of you know, I grow some in the garden. I haven't shown them this time, but I will soon. They're coming through. There's another Opuntia there. This is very similar to that species Aciculata. It's actually Pycniacantha. And next to that you've got a very typical type of Opuntia, and that one, if I can see it, is Basilaris, the beaver tail cactus. These are quite, well, they're both quite good plants. A lot of people don't grow Opuntias because they can grow you out of house and home, but I think certain species are well worth growing. In the front there you've got Invicta. If I focus on it, there we are. That's I think Tephra invicta. It's quite a vicious looking plant, and one well worth keeping at the back of the staging. we've got a very poorly grafted Pachypodium brevicoli plant originating from Madagascar. I think it'll be okay, it's just that the leaves look a bit off. Hopefully that'll put up new leaves. It is grafted, so it should be easier to keep. It's not easy. Next, we've got a problem plant. I don't know why. On both of my Euphorbia susannes has this white stuff, and however I try to get rid of it, it don't work. I've sprayed it with various things, so if anyone got an answer on that, please let me know. And a few more Opuntias along the front. Echeveria lowii. This plant is a pig to grow. We've got another one over the back here. We've had several plants. Some just die or they rot off. They're not easy. And anyone that says they are easy are telling porkies, because in my book they're not. They seem to require a little bit extra heat as well. A few more of the plants. I haven't named all the plants, obviously. This is a larger plant of Leuchtenbergia principus. This is quite a nice plant actually, and it, as you can see, it's got dead flower remains, so that has flowered. More Opuntias tetracactus at the back. You've got an agave here, which I think the name is Peglorae. Agave Peglorae. This lovely plant lost its roots. Now, I think it's produced some very strong roots, and the plant is looking very nice. It's got this sort of closing in effect, but this is okay. These plants have had a drink, funnily enough. I do tend to keep the stuff bone dry over winter. That way they can maintain their cooler temperatures. In the front, and I'm very pleased I got these through the winter, 3 species of Pseudolithus migeratinus. These were plants I picked up at the last year's MESM study group meeting at Banstead. I'm very pleased to get those. I wish I'd got a few more now. These were raised by one of our members. In fact, he's an excellent grower, and he's done very well. And these plants here have done well as well. So hopefully I can keep them. Moving along, got another grafted plant here. This is an Astrophytum. Astrophytum. Is it ornatum or myriostigma? I can never remember. They sometimes call it it means 4-sided. Anyhow, quadricostata. Looking further at the back here, we've got 2 species of Haworthia longii, which refers to the gentleman that named it or is associated with it, and not the fact that it's got long leaves. Longii. We've got a Preschia and a Presciopsis. You've got another old favourite here, Aloe variegata, the partridge-breasted aloe. I find these are not easy. I've got another one in the big house which has lost its roots, and I'm having an awful time to actually get it to make root. So it's not easy. It's not hard, but it is a little bit tricky. And in the front of that you've got my old favourite, the horse crippler, a kind of cactus horonzilla. Yeah, you know what I mean. Some of these names they tongue twist me. Horizontalonus. It has another name now, I believe, but I don't go by all these new names. My brain's hard enough taking in the old names, so the new names have to wait. Looking at the top shelf here, this is the other Euphorbia susannae, showing these white things, so I'm going to have to try various other treatments. It's still alive. It's just marked by those bad markings. Few more punties along the top here. I won't go into the names, I'll just show them. It might be a bit bright here because the sun's shining in. You'll probably get the silhouette of them, but they're not too bad. That one there is particularly nice. I picked that one up at that cactus show. Look at the length of those spines. Beautiful plants. But as you notice, I've got them well out of reach, so I don't knock against them, because they're rather unpleasant to get too close to. Looking down on the staging below this, you've got a few more of the mesems. I had a bad year last year, as you know. I got some dodgy compost, and I've had nice comments from most of you. I did get one unpleasant comment from someone else. I can't even remember his name now. As far as I know, he isn't a cactus grower, but he objected to the fact that I had said that these were bought in a local flower, well, not a flower shop, it was in a do-it-yourself shop. Well, I think people should know. If something's being sold which is not doing the plants any good, they should be told. Unfortunately, I have to be careful, I mustn't give the name away. Anyhow, these large lithops slipped through and were in the other house, and they got a little bit damp over winter, and they've increased in size. They're all right though, there's no problem, but care will have to be taken. Don't know how these are coming out because the sun's shining through the window. Few Opuntias, Gibeums, lithops, Coreopsis peculiaris. I rather like those. I'm hoping to flower these next year so I can get some seed again and grow them. They did suffer a bit, the plants, but after a good watering they're slowly perking up. In fact, some are perking up too much and the skins are splitting. That can't be helped. Well, it can be helped, but they have to be careful. The back there's a few lithops which are not looking too good. What I did have and still have, I've got flowers on my Philobolus resurgens. If I could only get the other one to flower at the same time, which is hidden under that lot, I'd be laughing. I've got conophyllums or mitrophyllums in bloom. I understand these are quite tricky to bloom, but well, I don't seem to have any difficulty in blooming them. Look, there's buds on those. That's mitrophyllum species. And we've got our old favourite here, Herianthus, Myriophytum mayeri, not Herianthus, I'm getting confused. Myriophytum mayeri, there's 3 plants there. And they're in full growth at the moment, showing the 2 leaf forms. They're doing rather well, and they flower also. Few more lithops, Fenestrarias, Gibeum. Over this side we've got Plospilus, Nelli. I like Nellis, they're nice. Named after Gert Cornelius Nel of South Africa. He was a botanist, and that's who the plant was named after. Very nice plant to be named after. Now, moving along, before I show you the plants on the ground, on the side of the mitrophyllums, is the other one on the side there, we come to the lithops. Now these are the plants which did suffer last year. I think I've got through the worst of it. You still get traces of white, as you can see on that one there, but nowhere near as bad as it was. So I think I might have won. It's put me in a better mood as well. You can see the white on that one as well. I spray with methylated spirits. Ideally it should have a bit of nicotine mixed in it, but difficulty in getting nicotine. I suppose you could mix a load of tobacco with it, but anyhow, it seems to work to a certain degree. I've tried Chinosol as well. Perhaps a mixture of Chinosol and methylated spirits may work. There are other concoctions that I've been told on YouTube, so it's good to know all these things. Anyhow, that concludes the shelving. Just show you down below, there's just a few bits and bobs that are down below. This is a large Pereschia which will stand out in the garden when it gets a bit warmer. You've got a couple of Brugmansias, I think they're called Brugmansia. They're actually poisonous plants. They didn't do too well because what happened, the large square pots were standing in the garden and they had rooted through, and the only way of getting them in the greenhouse was to pull them up, unfortunately leaving some of their roots behind, so they did get a check in their growth. In there you've got a few more plants. These might go to a local boot sale. I'm looking forward to the boot sales this year. I shall be taking my trusted mobile phone with me, because if I see anything there that my friend might want in the way of electrical bits and pieces, I can send a picture over on this excellent system called WhatsApp. It's very, very good. I didn't know about it a year ago. I do now, and it's excellent. And I can just send a picture of the plant over, or a moving picture. Anyhow, I digress. That concludes in this greenhouse, so any comments please make. Think of it, I can hear a cat meowing outside. It's not my cat. Oh, I hear a cat meowing. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Any questions please ask. I'll do the other greenhouses later. So this is a start anyhow. So once again, got some plants there for the cactus people that I have neglected over the last few weeks and months, mainly because it's been winter time and nothing's been taking place. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you.